I love you when I am. Excuse me. I love you and I'm in love with you. I ain't feeling too well today, so y'all roll with me. Y'all roll with me. I ain't feeling too good, but we gotta roll the corn. Put where you're from and put the corn in the chat. Put where you're from and put the corn in the chat. We know the truth now. Solid, what's up, brother? Y'all follow Solid 994. Follow Solid 994. Minnesota, what up? Dayton, Ohio, what up? Y'all gotta excuse me today. I ain't feeling too good, but we gonna get it in. We gonna get it in anyway. Jacksonville, what up? Empress Kaja, what's up? Mr. Nobody, what's up, brother? Y'all share the live for me. Share the live. Share the live. Put the corn and put where you from in the chat. Roll the corn. Clarae's Cafe, how you doing today? Nutty Professor, New York City, what's up, brother? Karnak, Illinois. That's crazy. Roll the corn. Liny, what up? Tay, how you doing? Yeah, I'll be all right, Nutty Professor. I'm gonna get it together this morning after the live. We're gonna get it together, man. We're gonna whip something up. Indian J, what's up, brother? Love you, I'm in love with you. I bow my head to my people, man. I love y'all. I'm in love with you. How y'all feeling today? Today, I'm just gonna go over some random receipts, right? About grottos. That's one thing we need to learn about these grottos, that these churches and these colleges are built on top of our ancient grottos, or which they're called underworld entrances, right? And I'm gonna show y'all what the Roman Catholic Church has demonized our culture with their culture, right? I'm gonna talk about some Hebrew Indian stuff and just some random receipts I ran across in studying last night and this morning. So we're gonna go there. So y'all stick with me today. I'm trying to hang and I got a little cold, but we're gonna roll the corn. So what we must understand is our culture was doing a certain thing in the world before everybody else on this land. And they moved around and taught this stuff around the world. And throughout history, they have told us that this culture came from other places, but nobody never taught it like I have. So I'm gonna show y'all where these cultures really come from. Like I was showing yesterday about Ireland, the lotus and the clover. That's why the clover became the Irish symbol, the lotus and the clover of ancient culture that was there. The Algonquin Indian has a connection with the Naga, right? And I showed that in receipts yesterday. So y'all go check that out on YouTube. Now, the Indians, right? Let's go this way. The Indians, like the Hebrews, speak in parables. Hebrew is in parable languages, like small words. So the Indians, like the Hebrews, speak in parables, right, of their dialects. There is no doubt that the Algonquin and the Huron are the parents of 500 Indian tongues, right? They are copious, rich, regular, forcible, and comprehensive. And although here and there, strong Hebrew analogies may be found in these Algonquin and Huron languages that from Indians up top. Now they say these people are descendants of the Naga, right? And I got old books talking about the Algonquin, which is the descendant of a Naga. Let's keep going. Let's check this out right here. Now, it says, observation that the name of it was rather Hebrew than Indian. Nahum Kiok, right? This is a tribe up in the northeast, right? The name is Hebrew other than the Indian name. See, these people knew that these words they was running across with these tribes was some type of Hebrew language, and they changed it to English to keep people over time from realizing what these names come from. So through their observation that the name of it was rather Hebrew than Indian. See that? Crazy, right? And they knew this. Let's keep going. Now this is when they speak about the Indian. This is what they speak about the Indian and the things they were doing, right? The things the Indians were doing when they got here, right? They anointed their heads as the Jewish people did, as the Jews of God did. They anointed their heads, right? You know, in church, they give you anointing on your forehead. They anointed their heads, just like the Jews, right? They gave dowries for their wives, as the Jewish people did. Dowries, right? See that? Let's go look at that. Dowries, right? Importance of marriage as a sacred union demonstrated the communal and spiritual value placed on strong marital foundations. They played a role in providing for the woman's future welfare and dignity, regardless of a specific form of dowry took. Dowry was not just financial transaction, but a means of strengthening family ties and alliances. So dowry was some type of thing you give to your wife to strengthen the family, to strengthen like a gift to strengthen your family when you married. And that is a Jewish thing, but the melanated Indians was doing this when colonizers got here, and they was trying to figure out why they was doing everything that was said in the religious books in Europe. These so-called savages were doing it on the land in America, right? Let's keep going. Now let's check this out. Now this is Naga Kenya, the water goddess, right? Naga Kenya, right? Multi-faced cobra head behind her, Naga, right? Conch shell in her hand. Conch shell in her hand, right? You see that? Conch shells in her hand. Now, to understand this shell thing, our culture is the people that created royal purple for Hebrew. We created indigo blue. We use conch shells. We are the shell people, right? We have shell mounds all over America with conch, murex snails. All these things go with, murex snails go with Hebrew purple, right? Blue, red dye coming from shells. Indios people, Indio. Indios comes from the people who use dye, right? From shells. So the Naga got a conch shell, right? As you can see. Now, most types of conch shells are native to the waters of America, particularly in the Caribbean, along the Atlantic coast of North America, right? Florida Keys, Gulf of Mexico. The first people to use dye out of shells come from America. And using dye from a shell became a Hebrew teaching once it went to other sides of the world, right? So you must understand a culture became a religion, right? So purple dye, the indigo blue, red dye coming from berries, used on woven clothing came from America. We were the first people to mess with murex and conch and all of that. Our people still eat conch in Florida right now to this day. They still eat conch fish and conch right in Florida today. They still do it today. It's still in your DNA, right? Let's keep going. Now, the seven snakes, the seven heads of the snake, it's the creator of all things. Yana, creator of all things. Now, the seven heads of this snake means the divine one, the creator and creation, the symbol of the creator and creation. Now, the seven heads come from the seven rivers of the Mississippi River, the seven streams of the Mississippi River. So they're talking about the Mississippi River is the creator, is the creation river of the Naga. This is what they really mean by that. Seven mental planes, but they really mean seven heads of the river of the Mississippi. Only river got them seven heads like that. Let's keep going. Let's go to the mother goddess, Ishtar. Ishtar, ancient carving of the goddess Ishtar, right? As you can see, this is a melanated woman's artifact from Samaria, the mother goddess, because I told y'all the mother goddess was always depicted as a melanated woman because the melanated woman is the first people to nurture our people. Therefore, she was significant. Her significance was played with the earth, the nurture of the earth, then the nurture of the melanated woman to her people. She's the first one to plant the seed. She's the first one to nurture her people. So therefore, you come with the mother goddess teaching, right? Now, Circe in Greek mythology is a prominent figure, right? Circe, remember that. Let's keep going. Let's go here. Let's go show y'all Circe right quick. Circe, ancient Greek people, melanated people, right? Let's go back. Circe, prominent figure in Greek mythology. Mycenaean. I told y'all the Mycenaean culture is the Phoenician and the Cretan culture, which came from America, which went to Greek on the island and on the mainland. Let's go see how these people look on the ancient artifacts, right? Right here. Circe. Melanated people. These people are speaking Hebrew, people. These people have a lineage that go back to America. Let's keep going. Now let me show y'all something Casey Macon sent me that's very, very interesting. It's deep, right? Now check this out. Now, I'm not through studying this, but this is a very interesting topic right here that I want to show y'all. The Egyptians established many colonies in ancient Europe. The Egyptians called themselves Milam Podes, or Blackfeet. The Egyptians were also called the Danes in Greek history. The Nans, right? But we're going to stick right here. Melon-Podis or Blackfeet when they got to Europe, right? Melon-Podis or Blackfeet. Let's break that down. Male, Hebrew, king. Male in Hebrew, king. Male, king. Melon-Podis, look. Melon-Podis. Male is king in Hebrew. Let's keep going. Po. Well, Melem, right? People, a nation, kinfolk. People, a nation, kinfolk. Let's go back. Male, AM. You go to AM. People, a nation, or kin. Right? You see that? That's fire. King, kinfolk, my people, my nation. We knew who we were when we spoke of these words in Hebrew back then. So all that you just being black and African American, it don't sit well, right? Male, am, king, people, nation, kin. Let's keep going. Po, here, in this place, kinfolk, kings, right here in this place. Male, am, po. Let's go, right? Male, am, po, this. Here go po, in this place. Kings, kinfolk, nation, people, in this place. This is the she. The she. You see it? Hebrew word for grass. Tender green grass. The same way paradise became paradise, fruit and grass in the Caribbean islands, paradise. Now you have in Europe, Melon-Podis. Same thing. Mel, am, po, dis. And they called them Egyptians. Why are they speaking Hebrew? And then language come from America. I'm telling you where that language come from. That's why they said the Indians speak in parables. Like he said right here. They speak in parables, people. Right here. The Indians speak in parables, like the Hebrews. Parables are what I just showed you. Mel, am, po, dis. That language is not original to Europe. It's not original to Africa. When that language hits Europe and Africa, languages start to change. That's when our people brought that type of parable symbolism, languages, to these areas, right? Now let's go back. Melon-Podis. Now, they called these people the Blackfoot, the Blackfeet, right? Let's go back to that. Called themselves Melon-Podis or Blackfeet. Melanated people. Now, let's go to America. Let me show you something. What's the name of these Indians in Montana? What's the name of the Indians in Montana? The real melanated Indian from the Southwest. What's the name of them? Blackfeet Indians. That's deep. That's deep. Roll the coin. Now, they want to teach you that these people are some type of Native American. But some of these tribes been here so long with the same name as the ancient culture. still linked to these people. And that ain't no Native American right there. That's a melanated man. And they used to call the Egyptians that went to Europe and built colonies the Blackfeet. That's crazy in a world of people that don't link up no people. But I want to link. Lately I've been wanting to link these tribes to where ancient culture, so you can get an understanding of where they learned this stuff from, their real ancestors, the real way people moved around the world, where our people come from, what bloodline and what things they have done on the planet, right? That's the real true knowledge of somebody trying to teach history. You have to take it back to where it come from. If you can't do that, you really can't prove nothing, right? So if they are calling these Egyptians, the people of Egypt, Blackfeet, and the name is Hebrew, then you come back later in America, the Blackfeet Indians sitting right there in Montana. Show you another picture of him. See, now you're starting to get an understanding. Now you start to get an understanding of our real backgrounds and history that they don't want to teach you, bro. They don't want to teach you this. They want to teach you just popped up from Africa on some African shit. No. No, we ain't going for that. We got too much history and we got too much real history to go for that, right? Now, what happened to the Blackfeet Indian? Right? Hold on. What happened to the Blackfeet Indian? I know I got that receipt. I didn't even get it. Hold on, let me see. Blackfeet Indian. Now, when they came to America, these people killed off all the bison, right? They killed off all the bison, right? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when the American Army killed off the bison to starve out the Indian? Anybody remember that? Y'all remember? Roll the coin. Anybody remember? Put the coin in the chat. Now, Blackfeet Indian. Now, to back up my claim, Melanpodis, Greek, meaning Blackfeet, ancient inhabitants of the region that were later named Egypt by the Greeks. Woo! Shit deeper than what you think it is. Now, way deeper than what we think it is. Roll the coin. Now, when they killed all of the bison, here you go. 19th century was used to starve Native Americans. Tribe like the Blackfeet. What they were doing? Killing the American bison. Right? Now look at this. Look at it right here. Look at this shit right here. Look. Look at this. Look at how the American Army killed all these bison. Look at the skulls of the bison. Trying to starve out the Blackfeet Indians, the melanated Indians, in Montana and up there in that area, right? That's why they done this. Look at the skulls. That is crazy. Let's see how many they killed. That's wild. Eliminate tribe's food source. Right? Now, to eliminate the tribe's food source, they killed off the bison. That's crazy. Now, I wanted to show y'all that, but I'm not through researching it, so we're gonna get back into that later. It's just something I'm trying to connect, but I got to get more receipts on that from the Blackfeet Indian and later Egyptians who were moved out of Egypt after they were attacked, who moved around, and it got something to do with the Blackfeet Indian in Montana. But I'm gonna get back to that. Here you go, right here. Starvation winters followed the eradication of the buffalo. Blackfeet were becoming desperate to save their children. They were forced to do something. They agreed to sell the lands. Which now make up the Glacier National Park. Starved out our peoples, starved out melanated Indians from feeding their own kids so they can give them their land for pennies on a dollar. Crazy, right? It's real history, y'all. It's real history. Now let's go here. Let's go back to Greece. I'm just bouncing around because there's a lot of stuff I want to show y'all just on some different stuff. Now, this is an ancient Greek vase. An ancient Greek vase with the Mississippian symbol and a swass, which was a symbol in the mounds. The mound symbol and the Mississippian cross on Greek, ancient Cretan, Mycenaean artifacts that match right up with the Adena culture in Ohio. That match right up with the Mississippian culture symbol in Mississippi. These are a later extension of these people moving around the world. Now let's go here. Men of Thera. Men of Thera. See what kind of people they is? Men of Thera. Look what color they is. See what color they is on the walls they painted? Where is Thera? We know the truth now. Thera is Santorini, Greece. And it's beautiful out there. And I want to go one day, but it's beautiful. When I say Santorini, Greece, it's beautiful, a beautiful place. Now, let's go look at what's out there. Let's go check it out. Ancient Thera, Santorini, Greece. See them columns? See that old stonework? Look at all them columns. This is our culture in other places. This is fire. They can't say no hunter-gatherers made. Look at the bricks. Look at the bricks. Look at the brickwork. See it? Look at the brickwork. Now you starting to understand who built all these ancient stone temples. Ancient stone columns and stuff like that. You're starting to see the real truth and who built all this stuff, right? Roll the coin. Now, the triple goddess symbol is said to be witchcraft. Symbol represents the three lunar phases. The waxing crescent, full, and the waning crescent, right? Connection to the stages of the divine feminine. The maiden, the mother, the crone for agriculture. The mother aspect with her connection to the full moon and Demeter, particularly relevant as it symbolizes fertility, abundance, and the harvest season. The three phases of agriculture connection. Now, you see this symbol all over the world, right? All over the world. And I want y'all to start seeing this mother goddess symbol as what it is. This is where we brought nature and we put the mother goddess right on the artifacts, right? That's where you get stuff like this. Ishtar, same teaching. These ain't no aliens, people. This ain't no shit coming out of no alien book. This is something our ancestors did to show you what they was talking about, right? Now let's go here. In his discovery of the sources of Mississippi, after a full and interesting account that the Indians, says different authors have brought them hither from parts of the world, right? It was first induced to join with those who derived them from the Hebrews. It seemed impossible for me to doubt that by so doing, I should be building a impregnable foundation. He then proceeds to prove that these Asiatic origin by many interesting facts of the Indians being Hebrews. Let's keep going. Now I want to talk about this. Let me show y'all something. Louisiana. Look at this right here. St. Michael, Archangel Catholic Church, Convent, Louisiana. This is inside a church, people. This is inside a church. A grotto that they blocked off, they can go underground. This grotto can go underground. They built a church right around it, right? A grotto. They call it a grotto now. But this, I'm going to show y'all what this stuff really is. I'm going to teach y'all what this stuff really is. When you see all these religious grottos in America, I'm going to show y'all what they are. Let me give y'all some more examples. Catholic Church. Grottos. The Catholic Church grottos, right? Devotional shrines, often resembling a small cave or rock formation that honors saints, especially the Virgin Mary or the Archangel, Saint Michael, right? The Vatican got grottos. Churches all over America. Notre Dame, the college got grottos. With either Saint Michael or the Virgin Mary, always in the grotto. Let me teach y'all something, right? I want to give y'all some images of it. Let me give y'all some images. Because I want y'all to know what you're looking for, right? Let me cut this off. Hold on. Now, grottos. Saint Benedict, that's ours. Grotto, North Texas, that's ours. Ours, all built out of stone. Look at this grotto right here. Portland, Oregon. They're everywhere, people. They're everywhere, people. All the stone ones, look at that, that's Notre Dame right there. Notre Dame College. St. Edward's Catholic Church. The grotto with the Virgin Mary. Lourdes Grotto. How many more we got? I know we got 1,000 more. Catholic Church. See them? St. Michael's. That's the one we're looking at right now. St. Michael's Catholic Church. Arkansas. Everywhere. Now, Let me show y'all where this come from and what they are doing to your history. Let me show you. Now, to figure out this stuff, you got to go to another country where they first started doing it when they were finding this stuff in other places. Right? Now, I think it talked about St. Michael in one of these. Now, right here. Let me see. Now, in that same area where that church is, you got mounds. Ancient mounds in the same area. Right? There you go right there, Louisiana. Mounds. Right? Now, let's go back to this. Church. You see that? Look at that. St. Michael's with the arches of Baal, Hebrews, stonework inside the church. Ancient stonework inside the church, all on the wall, everywhere. Right? Look, now, let me explain this. Now, there is another grotto in France, I think. This is the one I think I'm looking at now. Now, inside a glass, on the wall in the grotto, in the one over there in France, it got a tau cross. See that line right there? This is a bad picture because I got it off YouTube, but it's a tau cross right there on the wall. They got a glass over it inside the wall of the grotto. You see it? They go to the top of the T right there. The tau cross on the walls in stone at the grotto over there. Now, why is a tau cross in a church inside of a grotto? See if I got a better picture. I mean, another picture of the inside of that church. Because I want y'all to get an understanding of what we're looking at. Right? Hold on. Tau cross. Matter of fact, I got the proof. Don't worry about it. A tau cross, shaped like the letter T, was famously carved into a stone at the entrance of the sanctuary of St. Michael the Archangel grotto in Monte San, and it's in Italy. I'm sorry. It's in Italy. The tau cross behind glass in the thing. Now let me show y'all how this look. They got the whole church inside of the grotto. Whole church in a cave. Italy, okay. So let me show y'all this now. Y'all think I'm tripping. Watch this now. Refers to the sanctuary Monte San Angelo of Monte Gargano, right? Now this church is crazy because it go right into a cave. But why are they using these areas, right? You got to understand it. Why are they using these areas? I'm going to break it down. Here we go. Here go a good pitch. I got to break it down to y'all, right? Now look at this. Watch this now. This is crazy. Watch this. Look at that. You see that this church? They got a church in the grotto, in the side of the stone. The tau cross is on the wall, right? See if I get y'all a better picture with the pews up in there. Right? Hold on. Computer been tripping. Let's get y'all one with the pews in there. Where they going to church up in there, right? Look right here. They've been doing this a long time, people. Now look at this. This whole thing was built by our people. Now let me put the Roman Catholic Church. Now look at that. Look at that. Inside of this now, you walk up in the arch bell like that. Then you go right into a cave. All of it built together. Look like this in the inside with the tau cross on the wall, right? Saint Michael. Look at this. Sitting on some type of tall mound in Italy. Now let me show y'all something. The tau cross, who was historically known for the tau cross? Now, it says the tau cross is not directly used by Olmecs or Mayans in the same way as the Roman Catholic Church. Cap. The tau cross, quetzalcoatl, associated the T-shaped cross-like symbol in his ideology of the tree of life. Now, Montezuma used the tau cross for the tree of life, right? I told y'all the tau cross is the helixual rising of Sirius during the harvest. That's the bottom of the Ankh cross, which is the tau, right? So the Mayans, Olmecs, Mississippians, everybody used the tau. Then it pops up in an old cave. Here go the Mayan tau. Here go structures the Mayans built with the T. This is a tau cross on the Irish coast in Ireland. See it? Why is it way over there? Tree of life, Ankh, tau. You see it? Tree of life, tau, Ankh. Olmec with the tau. Right on his artifacts. Look at this. Roll the coin. Hold on. Olmec right here with the tau, right on the artifacts. The cross bands motif. These are mound builders. They got the tau built into Hopi Maya architecture in the Southwest. You see it? Roll the coin. Now, why is the grotto so important to the Roman Catholic Church? Let's get into that. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about now. I just want to give y'all some background on it so you can understand where I'm finna take you, right? The tau cross, carved in the entrance at the grotto, St. Michael. The Mississippians viewed natural caves or existing entrances to the underworld. They performed ceremonies in these caves and created religious art like petroglyphs, engraving, petroglyphs, paintings, mud glyphs. The underworld. Olmec believed the caves led to the underworld and used them as sacred places, sometimes modifying them to create monuments to represent this connection. So they made the cave mask showing you the entrance to the cave, which is the underworld. Let's keep going. Mayans considered natural caves significant portals to the underworld, known as Zabalba, right? They extensively used and modified them for ritual purposes, cave-like structure within the monumental architecture. Sumerians, underworld, as the dark, deep, cavernous space underground. The cave was symbolic for the underworld. This the same teaching. Don't get this stuff mixed up. Let's go. Ancient Egyptians, concepts of caves and caverns to represent the underworld, or Duat. The Book of Caverns describes the sun god Ra journeying through 12 caverns of the Duat, which served as a mythological map of the underworld. Now, you get it? It's your culture. From the Mississippi and all the way through Egypt and Samaria. Olmec done it, Mayan done it, Mississippian done it, roll the corn. Now, we got these same underworld passages all over the world. And when Roman Catholic people find them, they turn them into Roman Catholic areas, churches, praise areas. Now you finna understand what the fucking Vatican is. Talking about aliens down there. No, your ancestors down there. Roll the corn. Vatican. Grotto. Grotto in the Vatican. Going underground. This is the underground stuff they be talking about when they talking about these buildings and all these totalitarian buildings going underground. And it's a representation of the underworld, the afterlife of our people. That's why it's built like that. It's not built like that just to be built like that. We've been doing that since caves. Then we may start making structures that go into the underworld. Roll the corn. You get it now? Watch this. The Vatican grottos are the underground chambers beneath St. Peter Basilica that contains tombs of numerous popes. They put the popes they pulled our people out and started putting the popes down there. Members of the royalty and other notable figures, including tomb of St. Peter. They are reincarnating our ancient underworld, sticking them hunter-gatherer as popes down there where our people was. At first, we built the Vatican. They reincarnating your history. Now, Saint Michael, let's get into that. Now to demonize you and make their shit look good and make our shit look bad, this is what they do. Right? This is what they do. Let me show you. This is what they do. You come with Saint Michael, right? Saint Michael, I know I got this receipt. I know I ain't tripping. Saint Michael, hold on, the Archangel. Mayan Olmec, I don't want to get into that yet. Okay, let's go back. I'm gonna run it off the laptop. I know I had this stuff. Now, let's go back to the grotto. Now, that's the Tau cross on the wall in the grotto in Italy, right? Our ancient symbol of the Ankh, the bottom of the Ankh. Now, here go the grotto. Now, Saint Michael the Archangel, Catholic Church. Let's get into him. Let's break him down. What is Saint Michael doing, people? What is this old Saint Michael doing? Interesting. This shit deep now. Listen. Saint Michael fighting demons from caves, from the legend of the apparition of Saint Michael at Monte Gargano, Italy. In the story, an arrow shot into a cave by a man, right? The events lead locals to believe the cave was sacred to the Archangel Michael and transition holds that he protects it from evil, making it a place where prayers against the devil are particularly powerful. So Saint Michael is an archangel that prays in these grottos that our ancient culture made, making it a place where prayers against devils are particularly powerful. So now, That's why they call this the Archangel St. Michael Grotto. They are literally telling you that they white archangel is fighting off your culture, which is the people who built this, which are the demons. So they put the Virgin Mary right there to try to make it some type of holiness to fight against our ancient culture. You get it? We are the culture, the demons that's coming out the cave. So St. Michael is their archangel against evil coming out of the cave, which we built. And they turn it into a Catholic church and put all this prayer to move demons from these areas. And the demons they are speaking of are our ancient culture. Because they're using the same grottos that we used for the underworld or the Duat teaching. So it's religion against ancient culture. That's what it really is, people. So when you see these grottos, your ancient melanated people built these for a representation of Duat, the underworld, after you leave, right? It's one of these up there at Serpent Mound. It's a cave hole in Serpent Mound, right? Now to show you I ain't lying, the old mix got the cave mask, the portal to the underworld. You get it now? You see it? You feel it? That's where that come from, right? So he is put in the Bible to make your cave like a witch, like some type of evil thing that was being done. And they got the archangel white boy to fight against it. And it became a pilgrimage site associated with the protection against the devil. Who was the devil? Who the demon? They try to say it's us. Our people were demonized, people. Everything we did, everything we built, everything we ever done in nature was demonized and struck down in the eyes of Christianity. The mound builders wore horns, people. The mound builders wore horns. That's what a devil get horns from. Y'all think I'm bullshit. Okay. Y'all think I'm playing. Hold on. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. AI won't answer some of these questions. He'd be like, whoa, you tripping. Don't ask me that. AI be like, don't ask me that. Historical evidence suggests that early Christian churches actively demonized aspects of ancient culture, primarily made it pagan. Cultures as deliberate strategy to establish the supremacy of the monotheistic beliefs. The process involved both theological redefinition is changing stuff, and physical suppression of rival practices and symbols. Right? Now, that's where they get that from. And let's go here. I wanted to show y'all that. Let's go here. The history and the character of the Indian tribes of North America, which have for some time been a subject of no inconsiderable curiosity, it interacts with the learned in Europe. I want to show y'all this because what those people learned in Europe before they got here, and then they come here and see on the ground people doing what they learned in books in Europe. This is an old receipt I had to pull for y'all, right? Curiosity and interest with the learned in Europe. So they learned all this stuff in Europe about the Hebrew, the real Jews. Then you come to America and you see it with the people. Now you like how they know it. And I just read in a book in Europe about this culture. And the Indians in North America doing the same culture. But it ain't religious. It's spiritual with nature. Y'all's is religious, ours was spiritual with nature. They seen it in Europe, then they come over here and see it over here. They cannot believe it, people. Let's keep going. But as the Indian nations are now fast vanishing, and the individuals of them come less frequently under our observation, right? The Indians are the 10 tribes of Israel. Might have been added several of their New England historians from the first settlement of the country. Some they proceed to mention and then add that Reverend Messar Samuel Sewell, fellow of Harvard College, all these people, vice president of the same, were of opinion that the Indians are descendants of Israel. People all at Harvard, reverends, these ain't no dummies now. These people been reading these ancient books forever. Harvard people, they know. Let's keep going. Watch this. Watch this now. That they would have adopted and bowed before the gods of Media and Assyria and would have carried them along with them. But there is not a trace of this ideology amongst the Indians. There is not a trace of ideology amongst the Indians. Not a trace of it. Not a piece of ideology coming from them Indians. They had no ideology. The real Hebrew. Not a none, not a now another. Right? They knew these people didn't have no, so they called them savages because they didn't believe in a religion. They didn't have it, right? Let's keep going. Now let's get deep. Let's get deep. Let's get deep. Pale foreigner overseers. 1, 2 overseers. Copper-colored women classified as African Americans. But why would pale Europeans put African servants in training schools? Interesting. These women above randomly resemble those so-called American Indians, aka original people of America. Wampanoag, Montauk, Poma, Cherokee. See that? Crazy, right? These ain't no Africans. Roll the corn. Do they look like an African? These ain't no Africans. These your ancestors. Made to go to training schools to serve Europeans and called second-class African Americans in 1888. Training school for wives and mothers, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. See that? That's fire. Roll the corn. Now, Ninegrit. 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 William Penn gives account of natives of Pennsylvania, which go to corroborate the same point. They're having a tribe answering in various respects to the tribe of Levi sheds further light on the subject. Several prophetic traits of characters given of the Hebrews do accurately apply to the Aborigines of America. William Penn owns a museum, people, in Philadelphia with all that Egyptian stuff up in there. William Penn got a big ass. That's the museum I went when I went in there with Earth Speaks. Me and Earth Speaks went in the Penn Museum. William Penn Museum. William Penn said out his own mouth, the tribe of Levi, how Hebrews do accurately apply to the Aborigines of America. See that? Roll the corn. There was something I wanted to show y'all. Let me see. But let's go here. Don't worry about it. Let's go here. Let's go here. Ninegrit. A statue of Ninegrit. Right? The melanated, the Indian chief. Let me give you the area where she's from. New England. Ninegrit, also known as Junimo. The Niantic Indian tribe of New England at the time of colonization, based in Rhode Island. Allied with the colonists and the Narragansett against the Pequot Indians, right? Now, something was going on up there. It's a whole, ain't no telling what these people making up in this story, but we're just going to look at Ninegrit, right? She was from the New England area at the time of colonization, based in Rhode Island. This is her statue right here. Ninegrit passed the winter among the Dutch colonists of Manhattan and the Western Indians. Ninegrit fled to a distant swamp and was now pursued under control. Let's see what happened to her. Her daughter succeeded her at her death. She was succeeded by her daughter and half brother after her death from fighting a war up there with colonizers, right? Ninegrit. Let's go see how she look. Ninegrit, looking just like Angela Simmons. Roll the cord. Ninegrit. Let's blow it up. Hold on. Ninegrit. Ninegrit. Looking just like Angela Simmons. Ain't from no Africa. A female, yes. A female. Right? Okay. Here go the statue. Here go the real one. Now, you know these paintings kind of messed up. Now, you know these paintings kind of crazy. But here go the statue. And here go the real one. Let me cover her up. Copper color. Now, These people were made to look like other type of Native Americans, people. It was made to look like that. That's wild, but that's what they do, right? So we got to go through all these tribe names and decipher them, right? And I showed y'all this the other day. Temples of Mexico and Yucatan so similar to those in Egypt, and thus may find a seminal speech, a language linked to connect the New World with the Old World. Now, in the middle of Highway 70 in Ohio, a mound was destroyed. They tore the mound down to build the highway in the middle of Ohio. There was a mound with a pyramid, stone pyramid on top. A mound with a stone pyramid on top. They took the stones off it. They found more mounds. They found a tall skeleton buried in a coffin. And under his coffin, this is what they found. Under his coffin, this is what they found. They say this is a hoax. This is some type of Mariotic language, of the Cushite type of language. Mariotic Hebrew. Roll the coin. This was found under a tomb in a mound that they tore down in Ohio to build a highway. And they say it's a fake, but it was buried right up under a man buried elaborately in the middle of Ohio. And they tore it down. That's where this come from. And it's a fact, it was there. It was there. Ohio Turnpike, the railroad, eliminated a large burial mound within the complex. It was there. Don't think it wasn't there. It was there. I just done a video on that. Now, I want y'all to understand that it's things are burying our culture, right? They are burying our culture with churches on top of stuff, and all in colleges and all this stuff. You got to pay attention to the signs, grottos and mounds and these ancient buildings with bit Hebrew wrote all over them, Corinthian columns. All that stuff was already here built by our people a long time ago. And I want y'all to, when y'all look at these buildings and these churches and these colleges and pay attention to what's around, it's all there. It's all there. Now, and that language of paleo started over here with the agriculture people. And I showed y'all yesterday, they called those people gods. The Greeks called the people who moved there and built them cities gods. They called them gods, people. Aliens, all type of stuff. It was a two different kind of people. And after you bury their civilization, you act like it's yours. And you put your civilization on top of it. Anybody got any questions, hop in the chat. Anybody got any questions, hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. Roll the coin. Any questions, any comments, anything you want to show me, hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. Oh, now it's something else I can show y'all too. That towel cross they found on the beach, right? Now, they say our people could not transverse the world and go to other places. But we left things in these places that we don't know about as Americans, that because we're not from that area. But we left things in these places that let us know, let people know we were there, right? And I'm gonna show y'all one of them. Show y'all some of them, right? Now, the towel cross on the beach refers to the T-shaped towel cross located near the harbor of Tory Island, County Donegal, Ireland. Towel cross on the beach. That shows our civilization pulling up on a boat, building stone towel crosses in new places, right? Let me show you. It's a couple of them out there. Just the one on the beach right here. See that? Fire. Here go the other one right here. This one is amazing right here. Look at how intricate this one is built. Check this out. Let's blow this up. Look at that. See that? Towel cross with the Egyptian style faces on the top of it. Fire. Right? This is on the beach, on these people's beach. They try to figure out how it got there. They've been trying to figure out how it got there forever because it's not their culture, right? This one is another one in Ireland, right? They've been trying to figure out where it come from. The towel cross is a Tamari cross. That's a fact. You can't debunk that. Why is an ancient towel cross in Ireland, right? Now let's go look at Ireland on a map. Just kind of show you what we're looking at. Let's go to a world map so we can see the oceans, right? Now here's Ireland right here. Here's Ireland, Scotland, all these. Let's look at the world map. Now here go the world map. Now we traveled all the way from over here, put that towel cross right there in Ireland on a boat. On a boat. There wasn't no Pangea. When our people traveled the oceans, it wasn't no Pangea, it was oceans. It wasn't connected. That towel cross we looking at don't supposed to be there, people. It don't supposed to be there. Because that towel cross come from Tamari. That's a fact. Now, that shows me our culture was moving. Now, yesterday I showed y'all a partial meaning of Ireland, right? Got something to do with the Algonquin and the Naga. What them receipts said? Hold on. Now, on the west coast of Africa and Ireland and all of that, all of these cities are popping up. And they not understanding where this stuff coming from, right? Let me see something. Hold on. GMAs. It was an Ireland receipt I had I wanted to show y'all. Hold on. Must have skipped over that stuff. Hold on. Cornucopia. Here we go. Algonquin. Now, why are they talking about the Algonquin Indian, right? Called the Erin Apu, Scotia, Ireland, were connected to the territory, and the Irish called themselves men of Erin, and to repeat, cherish the mythical green shamrock, the spirit of the Maya earth. The spirit of the Maya earth. The shamrock is a lotus and a clover of the Maya earth. That's why the Ireland people got the clover as their symbol. Nature. The lotus and the polar lotus is a lotus mixed with clovers in that area, right? But they say there's some type of Naga or some type of Maya history that ended up in Ireland, and they called them Erin Apu. Erin. That's how you get Ireland, right? That ancient word of our people turned into the name of Ireland. Watch this. Erin in Ireland. Erin is a name for Ireland, derived from the Irish. Now watch this. Watch this. Now this how they steal your history. Watch this. This how they get you with all these fake ass words, and they be getting it from somewhere, and they be acting like it be their words. They try to say it's Greek. Now look at this. Erin, name for Ireland, derived from the Irish Gaelic word Erin, which derives access to E-I-R-E, which means Ireland. See it? The name is from the dative case of Irish word for Ireland, E-I-R-E or E-R-I-R-E-R-I-U, right? Let's go look at this. Let's go back to the receipt. Now, you see Erin Apu? The people called themselves Erin Apu, real men, indicating they were of Naga descent, Mayan descent. You see it? Erin. The men, now the people in Ireland call themselves the men of Erin. You see it? And they got tau crosses on the beach in Ireland from Mayan culture. This is where Ireland gets its name from. Erin Apu, real men, indicating they were the Naga descent. Then you get the men of Erin from Erin. Then they say Erin, which means Ireland. The goddess, who is a matron of Ireland. E-R-I-U. The fertility goddess, the mother goddess of Ireland. It's a different name for the same thing. So throughout my studies, I'm starting to see a lot of mother goddesses with the same teaching as the Mississippian and other cultures becoming the name of the place, right? Aurora. It is also the mother goddess, embodying the bond between people and place. She was one of the three divine sisters. Mother goddess represents Ireland, goddess of sovereignty. Associated with abundance of agriculture, fullness and bounty. That's where they come from. Now she becomes a god. Now you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it a whole nother way now, right? Now, if you bring a mother goddess teaching to a people that don't know nothing about it, right? Over time, that goddess becomes mythology. But we were just talking about a representation of our people, mother and Mother Nature, a melanated woman in Mother Nature. Then when it goes into these new places in the world, over time, that mother goddess becomes a god to the people who don't know where it originally come from. So now they are calling themselves the men of Erin, right? The people of Ireland, after the ancient culture, put the mother goddess teaching on their land. And I see this going on along with Europe. I see it going along with Africa, because Europa is a goddess. Afri is a goddess. Is it the same teaching going around the world with different names? That's what we have to find out. And I think that's what's really going on, right? Let me see something. Let me check something out. This nature star associated with the mainstream from the general connection of God's celestial bodies rather than specific. General connection of goddesses to celestial bodies rather than a specific mythological link, right? So Arua is connected to the land, and the other goddess is Aryan Rod is connected to the stars. So Celtic goddess Aryan Rod, specifically associated with stars and the moon. Arua is often named as the wife of Mac, son of the sun, which creates a celestial link through her husband. See, it's all mythology, people. It's all mythology. It's all about some ancient story of stars that became the mother goddess. But it's all the same stuff. And then you can't always find out which exact stars these goddesses they're talking about come from. Some you can, some you can't. Let me see something. Let me see something. So another guy figures some strength and protection. Mac. She's a part of this story got something to do with the stars. I just ain't never went into Ireland too hard. But it ain't gonna be hard to figure out. You can go to her husband's mythology. Because y'all already know they put the man over the mother goddess over time, the hunter-gatherer. So y'all already know. They took the mother goddess out of the teachers and put the man, then made him a celestial being. And then they started using the man as the god, because the man always the hunter-gatherers wanted the man to be the deity or the god over the people. He didn't want the mother goddess to be there. So therefore they started calling that pagan, right? But this what's going on with that. That's what's going on with that, right? So to get back to the truth, the woman, the melanated woman, is the original mother goddess, right? She's the closest thing to the creator, the closest thing to nature. And when you break that code and start teaching something else, you misdirect the people, right? You misdirect the people in the learning when you break that. Any questions, hop in the chat, y'all. Hop in the chat. What I do to my chat? Hop in the chat, hop in the chat. I'm gonna take a couple of questions before I get out of here. Hop in the chat, hop in the chat. Do I got receipts on Atlantis? Whole lot of them. This is Atlantis. America is Atlantis. I was just talking about this the other day. See what I got for you, bro. Let me see. It ain't taking me back far enough. Hold on. This what you want right here? And what you want right there, huh? America is Atlantis. Let me see. Antediluvian. I was just talking about this the other day. Let me show y'all something. Mythological pictures, which are the point of the fact, right? When the identification is satisfactory, right? So this is a Mayan mythology, Mayan teaching, holding up the pillars of earth, right? Now, where have y'all saw this again? Redone somewhere else in the world. Where have y'all saw this again redone in the world? This is a representation of earth, right? See the now where y'all see this again at? What's the name of them? Atlas. Right? Now what's the name of the mythology over there? Viking mythology too. Greek. What's the name of it though? What's the name of the person? What's the name of the person who hold up the earth? It's Atlas, right? But what's the name of the mythology of it? There you go right here. There you go. There you go right there. Oh, man. Now y'all see where these people get all this stuff from. Zeus. Same teaching. The one over here way older. They just redo it. Right? The Mexican Atlas carries the simple vault of heaven. The Greek Atlas shows the spherical form of the earth has been discovered. The zodiacal signs have been placed in position, right? Now, the Mexican Atlas carries the simple vault of the heaven. Now, you get the Hercules, right? American Atlas is the parent of the Greek Atlas. It's stuff wild, y'all, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Like, things we done just became everything all over the world. Any questions? Hop in the chat. 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 The gods of the Phoenician also kings of Atlantis. Roll the corn. Dagon. Bread corn. Dagon. Bread corn. Phoenicians, king of Atlantis. Phoenicians come from here. Yes, Chief Tuscaloosa. Chief Tuscaloosa was a melanated Indian, 7 feet tall. Choctaw. Lived on mounds near the Black River, near the Tuscaloosa River. DeSoto, unalive Chief Tuscaloosa. And his men in Alabama. But Tuscaloosa was a melanated Indian, very tall. You got a question? Hop in the box. Hop in the invite. Gobekli Tepe cover up trending in Turkey. Yeah, Gobekli Tepe is our culture. It got the same star alignments on the Gobekli Tepe is that they got on all over these mounds. There's somebody landing in that area building it there in ancient times. Because astrology came from America. Gobekli Tepe is a land with astrology. Engineer Could, you got a question?
Yeah, what's good, bro?
What's up, brother?
Hey,
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say now?
before I was look, you heard of something called Nabatean Kingdom?
Nabatine.
It's in Arabia. It's like they carved the damn building out of like the mountain, bro. And I know them folks there ain't do it.
So my Petra or
Yeah.
Nabatine?
The Nabatean is where it's at. That's my fault.
Okay. Okay, those are the people that built Petra, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at some artifacts from them right now. Now these people had some type of Hebrew also. Now let me show you some stuff. See, once you find the culture, I remember Nabatine from building Petra in the side of the mountain in Jordan. That's the name of the people that done it. And that's an amazing spot. You're exactly right. Hold on, let me show you something. This stuff's so interesting. Let me flip it.
And when I saw them columns, I was like, damn.
Exactly. Now you see that arch,
Mm-hmm.
columns, just like the old buildings. Now this is what they built right here in the side of the mountain in Jordan, Petra. Now they say we had buildings just like that in the Badlands in Wisconsin, just like it. There you go,
That's
right?
another thing I wanted to ask you, bro. Did you see? I tagged you in a video. This white dude, he live out that way,
Uh-huh.
and he made a video of it. Dang, bro, I might have to tag you again just so it's more fresh. But
Yeah.
like, you could see like the pyramids, and you could see where like they bombed the stuff or whatever they did to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell that it was something there though.
Yeah. I think I saw that, bro. He like walking down through the canyon of the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. That's
He got
fire.
a couple. He made a couple videos, bro. I don't know if you
Yeah.
went to his page, but he got a couple of them. And I was like, damn, that's because it popped up like a week after you had talked about it.
Exactly. And I have to say something about that. I showed the old newspaper clip that they had all them temples and stuff in that area. Temples and all on top of the stone, like right. Now, Nabatean language is Hebrew turned into Aramaic. So it's a Semitic language. closely related to Hebrew. So these are the same bloodline of people. Because you got first you find their languages, then you kind of find what, you know what I'm saying? Because them Semitic languages of Aramaic and Hebrew started with the agriculture people. So yeah, they linked in.
Yeah, when I seen that, I was like, because I came across that earlier this morning. I was like, damn, I wonder if bro heard about it. But yeah, that's it, man. That's all I wanted to ask you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, that's a Hebrew build.
Already.
That's a fact. All stone in the mountain. Appreciate you, bro. Y'all follow bro, follow bro, follow bro, follow bro. Tissy Pop, what's up? You got a question or a comment? I talked about that. I talked about Petra. It's funny you brought the name of the people up though. Mary, you got a question or a comment? So we got Bobby Brandon, question or a comment? Let me delete some of this stuff.
Hey, how you doing, soldier?
Doing pretty good. How you doing?
Good. I'm just thinking of a question. Okay, how do you distinguish Canaanite alphabets? Because I notice like a lot of people when they see these so-called Hebrew alphabets,
Uh-huh.
how do you know they're not Canaanite alphabets? And are the Canaanites and Hebrews the same people?
Yeah, they connected. Very, very connected.
Okay.
From what I see, people who has a base in that language are living in different areas around um, Israel and the Middle East and Africa, right? And some kind of way they mix cultures with the people, and now they're turning against each other as they mix with people that live in these areas, right? But their base language are the same: the Canaanites, the Hebrews, stuff like that. Then they end up after years go by going against each other with the people that's from the land, right? But it's the same language in base. It's the same language. Some of it's older than others, and some of it's newer, but it's the same language with the base languages of that.
Because I was looking at that a little bit about the Arabic language, how the Arabs took over the Mediterranean Sea, and how so a lot of people became Muslim just to buy, sell, and trade, or learn the language so they could buy, sell, and trade. Just like the
Yeah,
Hebrew language at that time, that was the popular language. And a lot of people wasn't Hebrews; they just learned the language so they can trade and buy and communicate.
yeah, you're right about that because the Hebrews were the traders at the time.
Right.
They were the people bringing stuff in and trading with people. So a lot of other cultures did learn it. That's why that's how the Berbers learned it.
And my last question, because I really love listening to you and a few more of y'all. Y'all don't like me to mention each other names that y'all have similar podcasts like Earth Speaks or
Yeah.
the tribe. The guy that always talk about the tribe of Benjamin. But my question is, why is it so hard for us melanated Carpentone people to understand that we was in every spot on this planet that came out the water? Like a lot of us don't want to identify with being indigenous. Why they can't accept that we were here?
So you mean like all around the world?
Right. Like even Europe or Spain or Japan or China.
Yeah.
Why it's so hard for melanated people? I use the word black because it's common, even though a lot of people don't even like you to use that word. That we was there. If we was there, every spot on this planet, we was there.
Our history is bigger than that, though.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the part of the history that our people must learn. Yes, there were melanated people in Africa, but what were they doing? Did they create something? Did they build a pyramid? What kind of melanated people? Right? Where did the teachings of the knowledge come from? See, that's the thing. Yes, it was melanated people in Africa for tens of thousands of years, but are those the people that they speaking of? The Ivri or the Hebrew? Are those the pyramid builders? Are those the language builders, right? That's when the knowledge come in there. So now, who are the most influential people in ancient time that you think?
Yeah, the Americans, the
I'm saying like
Timerians.
what they call them though, like when we speak of great people in ancient time, you think of Egyptians, you think
You
of
kind of think of the Kemites, but you also like I've been open mindedly studying the last and I
exactly.
finally yeah.
You
Like
think of,
I didn't even know
you think of the
it was a
Cushites.
tribe called Benjamites. I didn't even know till this year it was a tribe called Benjamites. Yeah.
But see, this the thing though. You think of who are the language bringers, who are the knowledge bringers, who are the people who fed people, who are the people who taught the information that can build a civilization instead of just being melanated people just running around, right?
Right.
That's when the knowledge comes in. So when I research it that way, yes, melanated people was everywhere, but were they ignorant? Were they intelligent? Were they looking out for their own kind, or were they just scavenging as hunter gatherers, right? Because we do have melanated hunter gatherers.
Right.
When I research where the knowledge come from, where the people who built civilizations come from, the people who align things with stars, the people with ancient alchemy to do metals, it come from here, right? So that separates, and I'm not trying to divide, but I'm just trying to tell the truth. That separates people of great knowledge from just regular people, right? And so when these people meet in history, that's when things started to happen. That's when civilization started to get built, right? So we got to start trying to study where the knowledgeable people come from first with all this information. Because when I read about ancient Africa, melanated people are there, but they are barbarians.
Right.
They not flipping the soil. They ain't got no pyramids. They don't have agriculture language. They don't have a plow. They don't have oxes. They don't have irrigation technology to run water and grow crops. So that's where the Atlantean story come in at. The Ivri or the Hebrew story come in at. This is a people with all of this knowledge going to another melanated people's land that don't have none at the time. So now
Sharing the
everybody,
information.
so now everybody is looking at these knowledgeable people as gods or aliens. Now, it's true all our people's all over four corners of the world, but it's not true that the knowledge was in four corners of the world until we took it to the four corners of the world. So that's the way we got to kind of study that.
But ain't this kind of crazy because you're younger than me? How could like YT people? How can they hate us so much when you taught them mathematics, science, how to wash up and everything? How could they? You think they just totally miseducated, or it's just in their heart to hate?
Okay, those are recessive gene pool of people. So in ancient times, when you got recessive genes, you are not as sharp as the people with dominant genes. You might, because like I say, I always tell people, YT people came from melanated people from the Africa area. Recessive genes from melanated people, which became albinos, which became an evolution of those people growing to be how they are today, right? That's another thing that proves my point. That side of the world was not advanced, right? So when you take those recessive genes of people and then the melanated people start to learn a little more, and then you enslave them people because they are the recessive pool of the planet. You enslave them because they ain't nothing but some workers at this point, right? They start to learn over time from the enslaver. They start to learn over time from civilizations, big civilizations around. Now they got a bunch of people, and they are attacking. They are, they've been enslaved. They mad. They still mad. They was the first people enslaved on that side of the world, but our people from Timeri bloodlines did not enslave them. the African bloodline enslaved them. So anybody melanated after they start to evolve mentally, they don't like them because they know their real history, right? So
Right.
same way we don't like people we think was on the plantation,
Right.
same way they didn't like us over there. But that ain't had nothing to do with America. It just happened to come here over time. They beef turned into why our people got made prisoners of war. But
Do you ever go
had a
on anybody
hatred.
else?
They had a
Yeah,
hatred for melanated people
right.
from this side of the world, and then they came up to want to dominate them people because they knew they enslaved their ancestors. And
And
this
I
was
read that too, where the Moors come in and got mad. I heard the Moors got kicked out of America at one time, and they went and gave more white people information. Like you say, Christopher Columbus, he didn't know how to get here. Somebody showed him how to get here,
yeah.
or Leif Erikson. Yeah,
Yeah. But see, this is the
yeah,
thing about that. Them people knew we was here. Our history is written in the lost books of the Bible. Christopher Columbus talked about two extras. There's two chapters that come out of the Bible talking about these amazing people over here in this land to the west. They knew it was there, right? So first you must clear your own land and conquer your own land before you move on to the next, right? It's just common sense. So once you smash the Crusades, the Christians smashed the melanated Muslims and all them other people, you take over the whole Europe and Africa, then you come to America, right?
right,
So after they took over that area, then they came over here, and they brought all that hatred for them people, and saw some more melanated people on this side of the world, and put it right on us right after they got off them. But the thing was they was helping them because like you say, Moors didn't come over here and didn't know what was here, and then they started helping them people because those people were their masters before they became
right.
our people, our prisoners of war people, right? So that's what happened with that. They beef turned into our demise. Well, not our demise, but our discomfort on our own land.
I was on a post last night where these young guys was on,
Mm-hmm.
young black men, and they were so full of hate for our generation, like we dropped the ball. And I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to tell them that they forgot, like it's 2025. Y'all not even capable of imagining what was going on in 1925. That's
Mm-hmm.
the problem y'all got. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you go back to 1925, you will applaud us more than, be like, oh, y'all wasn't good dads. Y'all didn't want responsibility. And I'd be like, man, y'all just looking for an excuse. All you got to do is make a choice, go to school or get a trade.
You
Stop
know something
blaming
I
everybody.
learned. You know something I learned, brother. Certain people were raised to feel like they have to make an excuse for why things are so hard, right? It was my parents. It was I ain't got no money, and they complain and complain and complain. And certain people don't complain, and they figure it out, and they keep the peace among people around them, and not put the pressure of their life on nobody else, right?
Right.
The younger generation, and now I'm not saying all of them, but some, they're looking at this thing as like they can't win, right? They so far behind, ain't nobody taught them nothing, and they looking at it like this. So they got to point the finger at somebody.
Right.
Only people you can point the finger at is your own people, your mama, your daddy, your uncle, and them, the older cats up the street. You got to point your finger. But see, they don't understand that it's been designed for y'all to be in these bad situations
Absolutely.
for
Yeah.
hundreds of years, and
'Cause I-
the knowledge of an elder could lead you around it if you just listen.
yeah.
Because we
Yeah,
went through
we've
the
been
same thing y'all went through, but all you gotta do is listen, and take the truth and then flip it to win, right? And instead of blaming people, you take the information and then you use it and you flip it and you turn it a negative into a positive.
And I told the young guy that. I said, you could go ask 5 people over 50 what they know now that they wish they would have known when they were your age. He's like, we don't even want to hear shit y'all got to say.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, shit, that's it.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get it.
And I'm cool with it, and I'm cool with it because they don't understand. No matter what happened, no matter what your ancestors done on this land, you still got to learn from it. Because history will repeat itself if you don't learn from it. So even if it was bad, you still learn it and you learn from it.
So, what do you accept the Bible as? A learning book, or there's a God in there, or because you mentioned the Bible sometime. Like, what do you take it as? I take it as like certain things, like my people perish from lack of knowledge. I like verses like that. And
That's true.
but the spookism part, I can't get with the talking donkeys and snakes, and I know they probably metaphors for something.
It's metaphor. It's metaphor. Now you have to understand what was the original one, right? Where did it come from, and what were they talking about, right? The Ethiopic Bible or the Cushite Bible or something of that nature, written by melanated people, was all agriculture laws or how to get in tune with nature. That's what the Ethiopic Bible was about. So the first one came from agriculture laws, right? Wish I could find. I was just talking about this the other day.
Would that be the Tanakh or one before the Tanakh?
The Tanakh. I think this one before the Tanakh. This one came from ancient Ethiopia.
Well, when you look at Ethiopia and they got that underground church with that cross on it, isn't that a symbol that Europeans been there?
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about in the lab. They take the ancient spots and turn them into churches, right? Because I just told you, them caves were used as underworld things at first. But the Ethiopic Bible is telling you laws of how to live in tune with nature and plant agriculture. Agriculture laws. Agriculture metaphors became biblical poems. That's what I'm trying to say. And then you get to changing it, and then it turns into a whole religion, right? So read about the agriculture laws of the Ethiopic Bible, and then you will see. Then you will see where it comes from.
Because like I say, my favorite verse in the Bible is "My people perish from lack of knowledge." So you just turn me on a sudden, because your whole life you gonna think, so you might as well enhance your thinking.
Yep. And then they use our ancient culture and put the religion right on top of it. So, so
thank you.
That's what it is. I appreciate good questions, bro. Appreciate you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Bobby. I just talked about that yesterday, though. See, that's why I knew it was on the mind of people. You take a book of metaphors and a book of ancient teachings. See, you only learn knowledge from nature. This was the whole thing. So when something happens in nature, you use that as a metaphor to teach a life lesson, right? Use it as a life lesson. And then that becomes other things after it gets taken by the enemy, right? Don't do this because I've done this before and this don't work, right? This what works in nature. This what you use. This the laws of it. And then he teaches you life lessons. And that's what it first was for. And then also we put our ancestors' information in the books, right? Then it became other things over time as other people got their hands on it, right? But that's where the power of it came from. Tribal kingdom, question or comment? See, you reap what you sow come out of the Coptic Bible. and don't come out no Christian, you gonna reap what you grow. It all go back to the land, right? How much work you put in on your sowing is what you're gonna reap. Hey, how you doing? Yo, yo. All right. Seneca, question or comment? And that says the Coptic tradition, like other Abrahamic faith, enriched with agriculture themes found throughout the Bible and is related to texts. Key agricultural concepts in the Coptic tradition include the land cycle of rest and harvest, such as the sabbatical year that uses the parables to teach spiritual truths about farming, such as the parable of the sower of the seed. That's the true teaching of that book, right? That's where they come from. That's why I always tell you got spiritual in the field, right? That's where they come from. Little Joe, what up? You got a question or a comment? Now all that extra stuff was added by other people. So yo, now let me give you an example. Like let's say something like the faith of a mustard seed, right? See, stuff you hear every day, right? Shows that something small can grow into something large, right? They literally talking about a real mustard seed starting off small, growing into something large. Then you switch that to faith of a God. Now your faith is small as a mustard seed. Now your faith is big, and when it grows to be a big faithful person. That's where they come from. You think they using the seed metaphor for a reason? That's where it come from. Then it turns into faith of a higher being, right? Something you heard all your life, but it's this where it come from. Your people wrote it. Didn't no hunter gatherer write it. They just turned it into what they wanted it to be. Philosopher A.D. Jones, you got a question or a comment?
What's up with it, man?
Yo, what's up? How you doing, bro?
Roll that corn though.
Well, what's up with it?
Yeah, I've been watching you for a minute doing your thing. I just want to say I'm proud of you. And you say you ain't know where the knowledge come from. We manifesting you to have it. That's where it's coming from because you're one of the leaders. So
Appreciate
we
it.
appreciate
It
we
hit me out
appreciate
of
you doing the
nowhere.
right thing with it.
Appreciate it, man.
It's your turn. It's your turn. I just want to share. So I'm gonna be brief. I got family out through Mississippi, Ohio, St. Louis, and some other grounds. But what one thing that I wanted to give you,
Mm-hmm.
I have family members that went to colleges up in Athens. I want you, if you will, do more research on Athens, Ohio, because it's mass mounds up there. It's Brown County. It's heavy up there. So just check out Brown County, Athens, Ohio, and you're gonna find some gems. Because when I was actually, visiting my family up there, going back and forth, I noticed some stuff. So I just want you to do your own research, you know what I'm saying, and you bring it to the forefront so you can shine with it.
I got you, bro. Appreciate that.
No problem. I'm gonna stay tuned in. Roll that corn though.
Oh, the corn. Oh, the corn. Follow
You
philosopher.
heard?
Follow philosopher. Follow philosopher A.D. Jones. Follow philosopher. I appreciate that, bro. Um, he right, like I say. Um, I think what makes me a little different from everybody else this ain't what I envision myself doing, right? Like sometimes you get a calling and you can't shake it. You can't, you know, you can't shake it. It's on you. You dream about it, you think about it. Is your people gave it to you a long time ago. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, bro. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. I went through, like I say, when I was younger, my great grandma taught me a whole lot of stuff about a whole lot of knowledge just coming up in her household every day. Because I grew up in my great grandmother's house in the hood in Jackson, Mississippi. So bits and pieces of what she said, I just kept over time, right? She passes away. I graduate high school. Like, wasn't even studying, wasn't doing nothing. I just could remember this stuff. Graduate high school just because I'm a little sharp, right? I can recall, I can whatever. I go to college. I flunk out of college selling marijuana in the hood, right? So I wasn't never trying to be no teacher, no scholar, or none of it. And then, like I say, I started working on the road, in oil fields and stuff like that, like I already told y'all. But when I was doing it out in these cities and seeing all this stuff, out there on my own for 6 months in a hotel room, I would think about the things my great grandmama told me. I was in my 20s, right? Late 20s, 25, 24. After I done all the hood stuff, I started ordering books as I got off work on the road in these hotels in these small towns all over America. And I started reading up, think about what grandma told me, and I read it and I break it down. And I'm just trying to learn it for myself, right? I'm just trying to learn it for myself. I'm not trying to teach nobody. I'm not trying to be no ego, big master teacher. We know the truth. No, I ain't trying to do none of it. I'm trying to figure out where my grandmama and them come from. That's it. Why is she speaking these Hebrew words? Why is she doing all this planting to the sun and the moon? And she believing all this old type of crazy stuff. When I'm 13, I'm like, grandma crazy. I'm trying to figure out, because her soul was so powerful, I'm trying to figure out what is the power of that woman, because I have never seen nobody that powerful before, ever. And I ain't talking about I'm talking about like her soul is so big that when you get around her, you just bow in awe. Like you just got to listen to her and watch her. Because you have never seen nobody walk the planet like this. Ever. She is using metaphors from growing tobacco on your life. I ain't never seen nobody like this. She is talking about planting peas to the moon. Grandma, what are you talking about? She is calling places in the South other words I have never heard before. She is taking me to country towns to talk to her people she grew up with that barely still speak regular English. These people are speaking a whole nother language. And I'm sitting there like, this shit is crazy. She doing stuff I read in books. So she is still growing small tobacco plants in her backyard in the hood, drying them out on the gate, chewing tobacco and smoking it. Don't y'all go play over there by that tobacco patch on the gate, or you finna get beat upside the head. For real, y'all. Like, and I get older and I'm trying to figure out, this ain't no African, bro. These people so in touch with the land and the people and the history of Mississippi, bro. This ain't no African, bro. She talking about what they were doing, what her family taught her they were doing before Mississippi became a state. So I'm like, if Mississippi ain't no state, how is she a slave? It don't go together. Grandma, was you a slave? Hell no, boy. They did take our land through taxes, but I was never no slave. I ain't come off no boat. I ain't never rode no damn boat. And my ancestors ain't rode no boat nowhere neither. Not in my history. We always been farmers. So now, she passed, I get a little older, I'm reading books, going through. So I leave work one time and come back to Mississippi, and I went to her county. I had been getting some type of download to go get the paperwork from the county where she was born. So I go in there and lie to the people. I had already made the lie before I even made the Mississippi in my head. I said, I'm going to tell these people I got a family reunion coming and I need all of these paperwork to put on slides for my family reunion. True enough, a family reunion was coming, but I just thought about that. I drove down to where she was originally from. Went in there, money in hand, print all this stuff up. Birth records, sister, uncle, daddy, print it all up. Print out what school they went to or whatever they put them folks in school. Them people give me all the paperwork. I'm driving back to Jackson. It's so much paperwork, I still got it today in a whole file. Still got it. I showed y'all somewhere on my live about the 240 family members living on one piece of land of tobacco fields. So I get back to Jackson to where my mother and them live. I break the file open. First thing I see, Choctaw. First thing I see on the first born of Choctaw in 1909. What? Daddy Choctaw, Mama Choctaw, great-grandmama Choctaw mulatto. Tobacco farmers, they own the land. They owned it. When she was born, they still owned the land. Her father died and left her what was left of the tobacco fields. It's all there. Ain't no thinking about it. Ain't no do your genealogy. Ain't none of that. I had my genealogy 8-9 years ago. So now I'm like, okay. She already took me to the burial grounds where her grandmama and her mama and them were buried at. Got mounds right behind a church. There used to be our land that they took through taxes. Now all of it makes sense. The mound building, people built the mounds, your ancestors. They don't come from no book. So everybody who thinking I be trying to read a book to get some knowledge, nah, they don't come from no fucking book. Flesh and blood, great grandmama showed you, there you go right there. Your ancestor built that. And here go the new tombs, the new tombstones built right up beside it after the times went by. I learned that from my people, bro. I don't learn that from no book. And I was never trying to teach it to nobody or nothing. So after I learned all that, I knew it for years. And TikTok started, let me throw some of this information on there, bro. And it just caught on because it was the truth the whole time. Yo, people built them Capitol buildings in downtown Jackson, Mississippi with them columns. Them Corinthian columns or corn columns. Grandma, what you talking about? Shit, I researched it. There it is. It's a Hebrew building. Hebrew lettering is on top of on side the damn building, dummy. Grandma saying this shit. Hebrew wrote bet is wrote on side the building, dummy. Hebrew built it. Yeah. So I'm looking at the histories all the way different. Because some kind of way, some kind of how, she never got indoctrinated. Never. Because she was always on the land with her people up until the 1940s and 50s. That's when all the land was gone. So she kept the same teaching her ancestor who had the tobacco fields all the way till she got to Jackson, Mississippi, to after I was born, and she my great-grandmama. She the last of the breed to know the real truth, right? So she was saying things like they sent her to Piney Woods to teach her English and Christianity. Come on, man. When I research this shit, it's all true. Them words we speak today are just twisted just a little bit to turn to English, son. It's still based in the Hebrew language. They just twisted it, the letters and the pronunciation, and take the couple of letters off of it, but the basis of these words is Hebrew. And I'm just sitting there listening. I'm sucking it up. 13, 14, 15. Them people became the Indians. Then when I see Choctaw on her paperwork at birth, now I get it. I get it now. Can't tell me nothing else. Can't tell me nothing else. Greatest people to walk the earth. Greatest people to walk the earth. The most virtuous, loving, caring people to ever walk the earth. And I prescribe to that. Right? I want to be that. I don't want to be greedy and treating people bad because of if I got something going on, that ain't got nothing to do with other people. That's how she was, right? These people were great. Pressure is on these people to feed all these kids, and they still was great. They didn't complain. They made a way, and they taught you the right way to do it. Now these days, like my boy just said, the younger generation didn't have them people around, bro. I barely got it myself. I'm so thankful that I got it, though. I barely got it. I got about 20 years with her. 19, 20 years with her. That's a lifetime in my eyes, because what she was teaching was so powerful, and she lived what she was telling you. See, some people tell you shit. Niggas get on this internet, your girlfriend, your wife, your sister, your auntie, they tell you shit, but they don't live by what they talking about. You want all this love and all this support, but you don't love and you don't support. Where they do that at? Who do that? You want $1 million wife and $1 million husband, but you don't want to sit there and support them. Where they do that at? That's where the problem comes in at. You got to practice what you preaching. Right? It ain't all about what somebody can do for you, what you can do for them. So I'm just putting that in a metaphor as in a relationship. But it's about Will you do the same thing somebody would do for you? That's the basis of it. Will you get up out your bed and bring me some food? Will you come fill my car when I ain't got no gas in it? Can I get anything? I'm just making shit off the top of my head. Just simple things. But if you can't help the simple things, the older generation of people, like my great grandmama, these people really cared about you, right? They really care about you. And I was raised to care about my people like that. So I'm different, right? But I ain't no fool, but I'm still different. It ain't even about no monetary value. I'm still gonna treat you as if how I want to be treated, right? So some kind of way our people lost that train of thought as the pressures of the world got on their back. And this when it's time for you to be great, right? When the pressure of the world get on your back and you don't change and you stay a virtuous, great person, that's what makes you great. Now, if you flip out when the pressure comes, you ain't great. Some people built for pressure, some are not. But at the same time, that's when you go back into the basics, right, of what these people were teaching. Now, the younger generation ain't get a lot of this teaching. That's why they telling older people they ain't trying to hear nothing. Y'all the reason we fucked up in the hood. No, it ain't true. It's not true at all, young man. It's not true at all. This is the way you got to look at things. This is the way you got. This is the way you got to look at things out here. It's all on you, right? It's on you. It's all on you. You can't blame nobody else. You learn what's going on in this messed up world and you attack it. You gotta attack it. You see your way you can get in and you attack it. Don't sit there and complain and cry and lay in the bed and don't do that. You got to get up and attack it. That's the difference. You learn what you need to learn, then you do what you got to do. Because I don't blame Martin Luther King. I don't blame Malcolm X. I don't blame Dr. York. I don't blame the Moors. I don't blame nobody, right? What I do is I look at the time and the era and the place of where these people grew up at. How much knowledge did they have? What were they trying to do? And I'm not here to judge nobody. So if I'm looking at their situation, I'm not here to judge them. I'm not here to judge Martin Luther King, right? Talking about Martin Luther King ain't do nothing. I'm not here to judge that, right? I'm not here to judge Malcolm X. I'm not here to do that. They used the information they had at the time to try to do what they could do, right? And I Dr. York, same thing. Malachi, all these people. They used what they had at the time, right? But I'm not mad at them because they tried, right? They tried. Even though some of the teachings were mythology and with the alien stuff, because I don't believe in it, I'm still not mad because at least you tried. And I'm not mad at Moors and Masons and none of that. I'm not mad at nobody. That's the difference between me and other people. I just be talking about knowledge, but I ain't really mad at no Native Americans. I'm not even mad at the YT people. Because when you have anger in your heart, it breaks you, right? You can't think straight. I'm trying to outthink you. I cannot think you mad. I cannot think you mad. So I have to take the situation that we are in right now and try to figure out a way to get out of it, all mental, right? So we got to power up. We got to power up, man. We got to power up as a people. We can't be out here complaining, and we can't do that no more. That shit ain't gonna help us do nothing. Nothing. We got to figure out something, a mental plan, a strategy, or something to do what we trying to do. And it's the only thing gonna work. We ain't got time for nothing else. We have time for nothing else. And what these and I want to say this too. What these younger people have to understand is y'all generation are so stuck in material goods that you will perish anyway. You're gonna perish anyway, bro. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all the story, and it's true. I knew this guy, and I ain't gonna say his name. I knew this guy from Mississippi. Sharp. Mentally sharp, physically sharp, right? He know all about stocks, history. Me and him used to chop it up, right? All type of great information. But his greed for money and material things led him to a jail sentence, right? And it bothered me because I knew he was smarter than it. But the greed is so that dollar and the thought of the dollar and is so powerful that it would lead people to destruction. It will lead people to destruction. And I know these people ain't no dummies. So you have to break that greed out of your system that this society has given to you. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have no nice things. I'm saying that don't make that the priority to have greed to make you lead yourself to destruction or treat other people bad or, right? Don't do that. That taught me a lesson, right? People be acting like all dummies in jail. Nah. It's some pure geniuses in jail. But the greed, they couldn't control the thought process of the greed overpowered their mental capacity, right? Now they doing crazy stuff because greed is making them do it. And I said, I would never want to be like that, right? I might have to take an L here and there on things I want, but I'm not going to let nothing drive me to do that because that is wrong. So that's kind of how I feel about stuff at this point, right? And I really think if we just go back to the basics and build up the basics, we'll become the greatest people on the earth again. I really do think that. I really think if we just say, like, man, fuck all this material stuff. I need my need over greed. I need what I need over greed. That's what I say. I need over greed. If I don't need it, I just don't need it. It's greed. That's how I look at it. So I think my people go back to the basics. Start learning about the laws of Ma'at, the laws of nature. Start back getting you a small patch of land or get a big piece of land with a bunch of your people and cultivate it. Build your own houses, run your own stuff. Start back teaching these kids self-sufficiency tactics. Raising them out there in the woods without all this evil stuff and drug dealing and shooting going on outside their window every night. And I think these kids will come up a little different. They will learn the hard work of reaping what you sow. They'll learn the metaphors that these ancient books was trying to teach instead of these other people twisting them, right? Somewhere where they could see a respectable man doing respectable things every day. Not trying to sleep with all the women, not trying to make all the money, not trying to have a big ego. He just want to work, take care of his people, and teach righteousness. Somewhere where you can see it, right? We don't see it no more. We see it, but a lot of people don't see it, right? So I think that's the most powerful thing that can happen if it goes back to that. Our schools are based on balance and harmony with nature. Not about what George Washington done. Not about what the treaties are or none of that. It goes back into ancient culture, which we're doing it the right way. That's why they were the best people ever to walk this planet. They done it the right way. They were held accountable for not doing it the right way. Right? If you done it the wrong way, your harvest was bad. See, in ancient times, if you cut corners, your harvest coming out bad. You can't hide it. Everybody gonna see you have a failed harvest on your land. Right? My land look good, yours don't. You took a shortcut. You done the wrong thing. You done something that wasn't aligned with the truth of how we taught it. And you can see it in your harvest, right? Therefore, you can't lie about it. See, these days, you can lie about your harvest, right? You can lie. Oh, I made all this money. I done all this. I bought all this. I done all this. So you can lie about your harvest now. But in the old days, your harvest show for itself. When the summer soldiers go up and we look at your field and you ain't got that many crops, so you can't lie. The feather stand for truth. The feather stand for truth. So the truth is, you done something wrong. You didn't till your soil right. You didn't water it right. You didn't do something right. You didn't do what the ancestors taught you to make it a great harvest. That's the only evil our people talked about. You know why? That's the only evil our people talked about. Because we know, we so intelligent, we know if your harvest didn't come out good, either you going to get something from us, but we going to still look out for you, or you going to start doing evil things to feed your people. Think about it now. This harvest going to feed you the rest of the winter. So evil comes from a small harvest. People with a small harvest. People with I'm telling you what I know. People who ain't got what they supposed to think they got. That's where the evil come in at. That was written. You can go through Sumerian, you can go through Egyptian, Mississippian, you can go through all them old cultures. Ancient India, Hindu, it's all for a good harvest. If it don't come, evil comes from that because they short-handed for the rest of the year. Ain't no McDonald's, ain't no Burger King, ain't no goddamn Subway. Whatever you grew out that field with you and your bloodline finna eat all winter. And boy, if you up in there hungry in the winter with no crop, you finna come outside and do something you don't supposed to do in the in the eyes of nature. And our people knew that. But to counter that, the people with a good harvest left food at the edge of their farms for those people. They still looked out on them. Think about that. You can get it from out there by the road. I ain't even got to see you get it. Ain't no embarrassment. Get it. The Ma'at teachings taught me to leave it out there for you before you even come. That's virtue. That is virtue. I love y'all and I'm in love with you. If you missed the first part of this live, go subscribe to my YouTube. We know the truth now. Appreciate them good questions, man. Some good questions today. That's my Cash App. I appreciate y'all for Cash Apping me. I want y'all to subscribe to the YouTube. Because, like I say, we got to use the tools we have. Like I just taught. Just got to use the tools we got. So, all the tools I got is YouTube and TikTok to teach the truth. So, I want y'all to just, support that, repost it, subscribe. Free stuff. Not no money. Just go watch the videos and repost them and whatever you want to do with them. I don't trip on nobody cut all my videos up and put them on. I don't care. If your page blow up, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at that because, like I say, it's still a truth in the teaching, so it don't matter about nothing. There's other stuff, right? It ain't even about that. This ain't my knowledge, it's the ancestors' knowledge. So I know used to me trying to sit up here and act like I'm mad because you reposted my video. It ain't my knowledge. So what am I? This is our ancestors' knowledge. Don't be reposting my stuff, stealing my information. No, this ain't your information, brother. You didn't create that. Where your pyramid at? Where your Tartarian building at? You ain't got one of them? This ain't your information. These are people before us who wanted to teach us the information. It's just that simple. So that's how I look at it, right? And I want it to be taught right. That's another thing. I want it to be taught right. And when it ain't taught right, I'm gonna say something, right? Who gonna speak who gonna speak in silence when awkward silence is going on? See, our people had started to be quiet when awkward silence go on behind a lie. We just gone by our day behind a lie. Can't live like that, bro. You must say something. They can call you whatever they want to call you. But if a lie is taught to a child, let's say somebody lying to your child. Somebody's literally lying to your child. You can't sit there and let the silence gonna make that child think it's true. It's just that simple. So in the face of a lie, you must speak up for the truth. Or you just as bad as the people that's doing the lie. Bad things go on and you stay silent about it. You just as bad as the people doing the bad things. So that's how I feel, right? Now I ain't gonna sit here and let you just teach anything to my people. I ain't gonna do that. You can call it internet beef or whatever. I'm really not beefing with nobody. I'm just brain banging, and I'm a bang you out the hood with that bullshit. Ain't no beef, ain't no violence, no harm to nobody. It's just all mental. But at the same time, I got to go against some of this shit because it don't stand for what it originally stood for. And I can't let that, if in my presence, get taught. Right? So that's what it is, man. Appreciate the cash out. Appreciate everybody subscribing to the YouTube. Love y'all. I'm in love with you, man. Roll the coin. We know the truth now. Y'all have a great, safe day, man. Excel to my dog. Keep rolling them videos, brother. Roll the coin. We know the truth now.